can't block 9.
Nope.
You know, so at least if you start throwing the ball, that makes those guys back up. That makes them respect the passing game and kind of look at some different options.
And Orange is going to call a timeout as there's some confusion. The play call coming in from Coach Pat Moser. We're going to take a timeout ourselves as you're listening to HillsboroSports.com. Stay with us for more.
Our vehicles wind up in accidents from time to time, but where should you go if the exterior of your vehicle is damaged? Look no further than the folks over at Cardin's Body and Paint Shop, located at Highway 157 in Caldwell. For over 30 years, William, Greg, John, and Dennis have been taking care of the people in Caldwell and their vehicles whenever they've been caught up in a fender bender. So contact the folks at Cardin's Body and Paint Shop if your car winds up in an accident. Call 919-732-6611. That's 919-732-6611.
Orange comes out down 7-6 to Southern Durham with 2:34 remaining here in the first quarter, and they have a 2nd and 22 from their own 32. Orange will put Peyton Wilson in an I formation. Panthers will use a wingback. Southern coach is already calling for a sweep. Instead, it's a play-action fake here. Schmidt throwing to the flat, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the tight end. I believe that was a pass that was just put in the playbook this week, and now a flag comes in, thrown by the side official. That was well after the play ended. Let's see what we have here. Head official tonight is Richard Milner. And we're going to have a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike, called against Orange. Apparently a side official heard a little too much from somebody on the Orange sideline. If you think this game doesn't mean anything to the Orange coaches, think again.
And, Jeff, right there, you know, they got a holding call, push them back. You get an unsportsmanlike call. In a game of this magnitude, you can't beat yourself. You can't put yourself in huge holes because there's not a coach in America with, you know, right now, before they mark the penalty off, you got 3rd and 20. There's not a play call for that. You just hope to get a little bit of field position to hope you can punt it and kind of change the field position. So I'm sure right now they're talking to Coach Mosier about either what happened. I don't know if it was a player, if it was a sideline infraction, but I'm sure Coach Mosier is just trying to say, hey, it's going a little bit both ways. Don't just focus on us. And that's what you want to do as a coach. Your guys are amped up. You know, we've mentioned they've lost to them 5 times in a row. They've lost 6 games in 5 years and 5 of them been to Southern. So I'm sure to some extent Southern, I don't say they're taking them lightly, but for Orange, this is a huge game. I mean, if they can get over this hurdle, like you said, all of a sudden that opens it up, and they've got a chance to get that big seed in the playoff, which gives you a lot easier games. Plus, it gives you a lot of home field games. You're not on the road. You're not traveling to somebody else's field the whole time.
So now after the dead ball foul, it's going to be 3rd and 37 for Orange, way back at the Orange 17.
3rd and long for the Panthers.
Probably going to be a handoff here. That's what they get. Handoff to the left side over the 20, out to the 23, and that's about as far as the ball carrier can go. And then there's activity after the play, which leaves the Orange bench wanting for a penalty. But it doesn't come. The handoff was by Pascal that time, and was to Pascal, I should say, and that was nowhere near good enough, and Orange will have to punt after a 7-yard pickup.
And we mentioned you got 3rd and 40 yards. There's not a whole lot you can call right there. You want to do something smart. You don't want to throw the ball to get a turnover to potentially put yourself in a worse situation. So right now they're going to trust their defense. They're going to punt the ball away. Hopefully we get a little bit better punt than we did last time. Kind of at least put them back at the 40 and kind of make them work a little bit.
Jackson Schmidt to punt from his own 10-yard line. Takes it, sends it away. It's a low spiral that hit at the 45, and it's going to keep rolling at the 41 of Southern as number 2, Santonio Marshall, just let it bounce. And Southern has a 7-6 lead with 1:36 remaining. And the Panthers now will have to go on defense on what's a pretty desperate possession, and I'd be surprised if we don't see more zone reads here, Chris.
And I guarantee you Coach Van Smith has been over there talking, hey, guys, remember responsibility. We've been going over it all week. And I'm sure the people up in the stands, hey, somebody's got to get the quarterback. It's always that armchair guy that knows, hey, we've been drilling that week in, all week long. Hey, your job is to get that quarterback. See if they can make those adjustments and play disciplined football here.
First down and 10. Green will step up and throw out of the pocket. Now he's flushed, gets away, hits to the 45, and he'll be sacked. Keshawn Thompson comes up with a sack of Green. Back at the 39-yard line, it's a loss of 2. And Thompson, who has recovered a fumble early, comes up with a sack.
And that's what you like to call a coverage sack. Jalen had plenty of time. The offensive line for Southern does a great job. He checks his first receiver, goes to his second, goes to his third. Nobody's open. And being a good quarterback, he had that clock going off in his head. When he got to about 3 or 4 seconds, he started moving his feet. So you got to give the secondary of Orange a lot of credit for not leaving any gaps open for him to throw the ball down the field.
Sean Thompson with his third sack of the season, having a big game early defensively. 7-6 Southern with the lead, last minute first quarter. Here's Green stepping back, cranks up the slant near sideline, and his receiver just went down the field. It was intended for Santonio Martian, who has 12 catches on the year, but he just ran down. Clear mix-up there, third down.
And a lot of times, the more intricate you get with your offenses, it's the responsibility of the quarterback and the receiver to read the coverage. And as the receiver's running, based on the coverage, he either breaks his route off or he may run a different route. So obviously right there, the quarterback and the receiver saw something completely different, which leads to an errant throw out of bounds.
4 wide receivers, 1 setback on third down and 12. Cooper goes in motion, and we've got movement, it appears, from the left tackle. That was Bobby Fuller, who is 6'3", 265, moving early for Southern Durham. 5 yards against the Spartans will make it 3rd and 17.
And, Jeff, it's kind of interesting that they've gone away from the zone read. They come out, they were so successful, and then you come out and you throw 2 straight balls downfield. Like, I don't know. To me, if something's working, you keep going with it until they stop it. Like, that's just a kind of a simple rule of football. And we were playing a team, Eastern Alamance, a couple of years ago, and all they ran was a little screen pass. And my players were like, that's all they're running. I'm like, well, we're not stopping. So they're going to keep running.
Exactly.
Don't change it if it's not working.
And that's where Orange's linebacker is going to be pressured out of the zone read. And here's Green stepping up, ball faking us up the screen. It's caught by Strong at the 35, but he'll be tackled from behind the original line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by Jordy Farrington, who ran him down to the far end of the field, and Orange comes up with a 3 and out.
And you see a nice job there with the play-action fake, almost kind of like a zone read. But you see the Orange defenders freeze that time, because I'm sure Coach Smith was saying, hey, if they do that, we've got to make sure we get that quarterback. So they froze a little bit, which bought a little bit of time for them to set the screen up. But when you got that far to go, it was a great job by the defensive line to not over-penetrate, to sit back on that screen and make a play.
That's the end of the first quarter. Southern will have to punt when we come back. Right now, it is Orange trailing 7-6 against Southern Durham. And you're listening to HillsboroSports.com.
Where did you say we're going after church today?
Oh, Jay's Chicken Shack on North Churton Street in Hillsboro.
What's there?
Oh, they have deep pressure fried chicken. It's a delicious recipe with great flavoring. They have great grilled chicken pitas. You can put gyro meat on there with a salad.
That's great. I can't wait to.
Plus, they have breakfast all day, including Saturday and Sunday, and they have delicious beef ribs, hamburgers, and chicken gizzards.
Okay, thanks, Dad. I have to get dressed.
And for dessert, they have homemade banana pudding and peach cobbler, plus Hershey's ice cream, which you'll just love.
Thank you, Dad.
They customize also all their sandwiches with whatever toppings you want, and now they deliver within a 3-mile radius. They're family-owned in Hillsboro.
Mom!
Jay's Chicken Shack is open 7 days a week at 646 North Churton Street in Hillsboro. Call 919-732-3591 and ask about their catering services.
We open up the second quarter with Southern punting to Orange. Luis Vidal back to punt, standing at his own 27. Peyton Wilson is back at his own 33 to accept it. Southern leading 7-6 against Orange. Vidal takes a snap. Looked a little hesitant for a moment, but gets away a good end-over kick that bounces at the 30. Wilson's going to take it on the hop at the 25. Wilson runs far sideline, breaks out of one tackle, but he'll be bodied up, still going, moving forward. It's going to take a couple of guys to wrestle him to the turf, but finally Peyton goes down at the 33. It was an adventurous 8-yard punt return.
And that's one of those, as a coach, you're saying no, 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 yes, yes, yes. Because when that ball's on the ground, 99% of the time you tell your kids get away from it. Don't try to pick it up. Don't try to do anything different. Because if that ball takes a bad bounce, it hits off of you, all of a sudden Southern's got the ball on the 20-yard line. So a pretty aggressive play by Wilson there and made a great job out of it. Ends up gaining about 10 yards to put Orange in a better field position.
Orange now moving right to left. to start the second quarter, down by 1 point. A missed extra point, all that's separating these two teams after the first quarter. It's going to be Beasley staying where he is. He was about to go in motion, then he was held up by quarterback Jackson Schmidt. And now the handoff. Beasley, room to the left, past the 35, over the 40 to the 45, 50. Marmonte Beasley, 45, and he steps out of bounds. On the Southern sideline, they say he stepped out at the Southern 47-yard line, but a good run. Beasley with the touchdown earlier and a big gainer here out to the Southern 47.
And a great job by the left side of the offensive line for Orange. And usually the difference between those plays and a 4 to 5 yard gain is your receivers blocking. That time, Kendall Whitted, number 3, does a great job with his DB, seals him off to pick up that extra 15, 20 yards. So you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line and also the receivers doing a great job of blocking downfield.
Whitted lines up to the left, Evans to the right here from an I formation. Orange with a 1st and 10. Looked like that Beasley was unclear where to go in motion. Now he lines up to the left, and we got flags down. Side judge threw his flag just as Beasley was setting, and Orange is backing up.
A lot of times you'll see that it's usually a defensive guy lines up offside, so I'm not sure if one of the offensive linemen for Orange was in the neutral zone with there. I didn't see anybody flinch or move. And you mentioned the wing, he can move, he can go as long as he's set. So evidently one of the Orange offensive linemen must have lined up in the neutral zone.
That's what happened. So 5 yards against Orange, takes the ball back across the 50 to the Panther 48 with 11:35 remaining in the first half. Orange scored on a touchdown run of 20 yards by Marmonte Beasley. Southern Durham came right back and zipped down the field. 2 stellar runs by quarterback Jalen Green made it 7-6. Toss sweep. Beasley runs to the outside. He's to the 50. Beasley past the 45, gets the penalty yardage back, and goes down at the Southern 45, where pursuit catches up with him from Akil Nasser, along with Desmond Chris Bernard, the 2 linebackers out of this 4-3 setup. It'll be 2nd and 8 after a 7-yard pickup.
Sorry, the one thing I like to see what Orange is doing is what they did the first drive when they scored the touchdown. They're setting up the edge, and when you start hitting those yards on the edge, it also opens up those runs to the middle. The last time they had the ball, they were just trying to go up the middle, which Southern is pretty stout. They got a lot of athletic guys up there. So if you start hitting that edge, you start spreading out their defense and opening up some running lanes.
2nd and 8, and handoff. Puckett runs to the left. Running room past the 45 to the 40. 35-30 and down at the 25. Great run on a quick hitter to the left side. That was Peyton Wilson. No, that was Puckett in there.
And, Jeff, just what we were talking about, the last 2 or 3 run plays, they've hit the edge. And so the defense coordinator's over there yelling, hey, we got to set the edge. And all of a sudden those guys start widening out a little bit. The linebackers start widening out, and that opens up that inside running game. Right there, it's a quick hitter. They get about 20 yards on that play. Nice job by the offensive line. Nice job by the back, hitting that hole quickly and getting upfield.
That was 21 yards for Peyton Wilson, to the 24. Now Peyton again bounces off a man, reverses course, and he's going to go down for a loss. Ran to the right, didn't find any room, and goes down. So the loss is of 2, and it'll be 2nd down and 12 from the Southern 26. Orange down 7-6 with 10:10 remaining.
Come on, Spartan Nation, let's help out.
Wilson now will go out to the right. Beasley will stay in the game as the tailback out of an I formation. Schmidt under center with Puckett in there as the fullback. And Beasley will try to dance, but he runs into a gray wall and goes down. And that's the power of that Southern Durham front. Xantis Morellin and Bobby Fuller come over for the stop, and it's another loss of 1.
And we talked about, at the beginning of this drive, the first 3 plays, Orange hit the perimeter. And they start having some success, and all of a sudden they hit a quick hitter up the middle. Well, the first 2 plays of this set right here, they've gone right in the middle, and both times Southern is there. I think in order to be successful against them, you got to attack the outside, and when you attack the outside and are successful out there, it's going to open up those running lanes in the middle of the field.
It's 3rd and 13 now for Orange, and the Southern band cranks up once again. Here's Schmidt back to throw, looking, guns it down the middle, and the pass is caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Orange!
That's a Panther touchdown.
Touchdown for the Panthers. Cody Evans with a seal down the middle.
Number 7.
And Jackson Schmidt throws right down the middle. It's his 6th touchdown pass of the year.
And you got to give Schmidt a lot of credit right there. One of the defenders for Southern Durham broke through, and instead of having happy feet, he stayed in there, he stepped into his throw, and delivered a strike and took a big hit after the throw. A lot of times, that's what they talk about with those college guys and the NFL guys. Are you willing to take a hit? Are you willing to sacrifice a little bit, step in, get a little bit extra on that throw? And the ball couldn't have been delivered any better, right in the breadbasket for a big score for